Montreal Canadiens force a Game 7 as they beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 6, once again in overtime. Our coverage here on the fourth period, fellas, brought to you by BitBuy, Canada's #1 cryptocurrency platform. And David, we'll start with you. You were there at the Bell Center, obviously the 2,500 fans. What was the atmosphere like?
It sounded like there was 15, maybe 20,000, at least at the start of this game. Now, things obviously changed as the game progressed, and once the Leafs got in it, the life kind of got sucked out of the building a little bit. But this place, to see fans in a Canadian rink again in an NHL game, was just something special. I'm fortunate enough to be here to cover this game and to experience that. But to have fans in the building definitely plays a bit of a difference here for the Montreal Canadiens and for the overall performance of this game.
Dennis, how would you describe the Montreal Canadiens play in this game? Obviously, they got the win, but Carey Price was obviously the biggest reason.
I'll tell you, they made some history tonight with their resiliency. They're the first team in NHL history to surrender multi-goal third-period leads in consecutive games while facing elimination and win each of them. So that's history we saw tonight, and that's a microcosm of what this team has done, down 3-1. Now they're playing with house money, going back to Toronto for Game 7. All the pressure's on the Maple Leafs.
Dave, you look at this Maple Leafs team, a lot of pressure on them. What went wrong for the Leafs?
Well, the Leafs saw another kind of attack from the Canadiens that they saw in the previous game, in Game 5. They didn't really know how to combat that. When the Canadiens were coming at them, it changed the pace of play for them in this game until the end of it. Remember, about halfway through the game, the Leafs scored a goal, started to get back in it. They got momentum on their side and started to flow. That didn't happen until the last 10 minutes of this game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was all them into the third period as well, Irf, as in overtime. So the Canadiens kind of sat back and waited for the Leafs to make a mistake in OT, but overall, this was a difficult challenge for Toronto to combat Montreal's potency when they kept coming at them. I'm very curious to see how they respond in Game 7, because you've got to imagine the Canadiens will stick to that game plan, at the very least in the first two periods of next game.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for this. And now, the best two words in sports ever, in my opinion. Game 7, Monday night, Leafs, Habs.